Hey everybody, my name is Jay, and this is Eye of a Samurai, episode number 4, I believe, with regards to our Road to Bridge City series. We're going to be going over a variety of the different players and styles and characters that are going to be showing up at the Portland tournament in January. About a month from now, more than a month from now, I'm not sure.
Less than a month. Less than a month.
Yeah, okay. And I'm being joined by Boom yet again. Hello, Boom.
What's going on? I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode in particular, talking about
Yeah,
two cool players, and I'm excited for Portland. It's getting kind of closer, so I know me and some other players have been buckling down and grinding and starting our journey to being good at the game again. So
yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
I believe there was going to be a bracket announcement on Monday. What day is that?
21st? No,
22nd.
that's 22nd. Yeah, 22nd.
I'm like 90% sure. I hope Chapter's okay with. I assume he announced it already. But I believe that the bracket announcement will be happening on Chunk's stream. I believe I will be joining and talking about our initial thoughts with regards to what all the matchups are going to be. And these are two of the players that are going to be showing up at the tournament, hopefully. And the reason why we wanted to talk about these two players is because of just how radically different their style is, this region of the world, and how they play the game. We've got Nekoyogi, the Zhanghua player, on the left. If you don't know him, he's at least been around since SC5, but he's really been tearing it up post-pandemic. He won bonus round against Toothpaste last year, I believe it was.
2024. Yeah.
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 Essentially last year.
No,
Uh,
2023.
oh, okay. But multiple EVO Japan winner as well, I believe, at least one of them.
Yes.
And we've got
Last.
Akeopo on the right playing Setsuko, formerly a Tira player. I say formerly. There's a pretty good chance that we might see Tira later down the
Yeah.
line because, frankly speaking, I'm not 1,000,000% sure of the United States' ability to play against Tira. And we certainly don't have a lot of Setsuka experience. At least we don't have a lot of execution-heavy Setsuka experience, just due to the fact that the game is predominantly online now, and it's really difficult to kind of pull that off. Arguably, the best Soul Calibur player that we've had, Woes, who won the Waffle tournament that included Akeopo, he played Setsuka for a good chunk of his matches, but that was all offline. And he expressly does not play online just because of how difficult it is to pull off the kind of style and the optimizations that Setsuka has available to her in that kind of environment. We're not going to have to worry about that all that much when we're live in Portland. So we've
Yeah.
got Nekoyogi versus Akeopo. They've played against each other 2, maybe 3 trillion times. It is
Yeah.
important to note that unlike the other episodes that we've had, this is going to be an online set. This was ripped from Akeopo's stream. I certainly hope he's okay with it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything that would be bad.
It's public, so
Yeah.
if there's an issue, we'll take it down.
But again, it is an online set, which means, Korea to Japan, it appears to be a 4-bar match. But, for that region of the world, it's a good 4-bar. But
Yeah.
obviously, they're still going to have difficulties that you're not necessarily going to see live in Portland. So, always important to bring up that kind of thing. When it comes to Shanghua versus Setsuka in general, you've got an itty bitty character that does itty bitty damage over and over again, and you have a mid range character that does significantly more damage but is also slower. So, a very typical short range versus mid range character, not necessarily long range. So, you're still going to be playing, and this is like the major point about how these two people play and how this region of the world plays the game. It is super small caliber. It is an infinite amount of small pokes and doing very non-committal stuff over and over again. It's really not the kind of style that we see virtually at all in the US.
We're gonna get bored. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you have to think about all the things they're not doing, which you just really don't see in the US. There's the whole idea of the game is that it's so high damage that you just assume that when you get a knockdown, now's the time to strike. But these guys have such incredible defense. They interrupt anything that's even moderately slow. They make their pressure very awkward so that they can't get GI'd. They block everything that is even remotely reactable, or they essentially kind of option select through their movement of step ducking to kind of get rid of those types of that type of offensive pressure. One thing I didn't mention before is that Setsuka can potentially have a very difficult time dealing with sidestep into duck. She has like the best low in the game, but you can duck it at the same time that you can deal with 6-6A, which is a Hori high. Most of what Setsuka has the ability to do in terms of corralling movement is through Hori highs or lows. And so she can have a real difficult time with that sort of thing, which forces her to use certain moves that don't really provide you a lot of offensive pressure. It just kind of allows you to just continue with the poking. Xianghua very much does not have that problem. Xianghua very much does not have the same problem due to 2-2B being one of the best mids in the game. So it's kind of like one of the best lows versus one of the best mids in the game.
Well, the way that I see it is this matchup is weird, right? So they both want to be in that low. I think they both want to be in the box, right? The box is like the range right there, right in front of each other, where they just sit like they're right in front of each other. They can punch each other, they can grab each other, etc., etc. It's just they want to be in the box in different ways, right? Setsuka wants to be in the box with frame advantage. She wants she's a counter hit character. She's got 6K, she's got 6B, she's got a bunch of different counter hit tools that she wants to use when she's up close. But Setsuka, or not Setsuka, Zhang, the way she gets her damage is by really, really good defensive reads, right? Mm-hmm. So she's got a bunch of good auto GI. She's got good moves to really kind of set the pace, set the tone of neutral, and set the tone of engagement. So that way it makes it tricky to really, it makes it tricky for you to fight Zhang. So it's really interesting to see these two go at it. And chat, if anyone's drinking water, take a sip of water for every step duck you see Nekoyogi do.
Oh, jeez.
Sip of water. We gotta be hydrated out here.
In just one game, you're gonna blow it up like that person from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, just a little sip. Just a little sip of water. Yeah. Just be
teeny tiny sip.
Yeah, like very, very, very small sip.
Yeah.
So,
Well, all right, let's get this going. And also, when we talk about defensive reads, let's not also forget to mention the classic checkmate scenario that Xianghua has with the best CE in the game being able to punish anything that's minus 12. So this would include virtually any whiff. Like, it's almost difficult not, like, if you're looking for it, it's difficult not to react in time, even in an online scenario, to any whiffed high, any whiffed grab, any sidestepped vertical, plus a large chunk of moves that are just inherently going to be minus 12.
Yeah. And then we'll hopefully see some of these checkmate scenarios in this matchup because
yeah,
this is gonna be get your popcorn or something because
it's possible that this stage will come into play at least a little bit, but it's still fairly neutral. A jump B right off the bat from Nekoyogi. Interesting.
Yeah, they're scrapping. And a RGI. Look at that.
It is. Once again, just like delaying that type of pressure. Boy, that was fast.
Maybe we're liars. Maybe we're just liars.
Yeah, maybe we're like crafting a scenario, a narrative that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Funny to note, Akeopo is actually on like a 25-game win streak in ranked right now.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact.
Now, it is important to note, one thing that you will probably see offline that we didn't see right there are a handful of things that Setsuka has that are minus 10, her 3B and her jump K, which is something that Xianghua can take advantage of. Not every character can, but Xianghua can, and Nekoyogi didn't necessarily punish the one jump K that we saw, but something tells me that we might see that later on. Didn't see it off the 3B either.
Yeah, there's a 6K I was talking about. Very good tool, especially in matchups like this where there's just a character that's quicker than you that wants to scrap. That could have been a CE.
Yeah, it probably doesn't even want to necessarily use it just because it's not going to kill.
Yeah. Look at the time. Look at the time. It's 11 seconds left in the round. Like, it's actually kind of crazy.
You guys, if you are kind of new to Soul Calibur, look at this duck. How do people pull this off? It's just a matter of like understanding like cruise control type timing. Fantastic auto GI as well. But really the one thing that I want to talk about is the movement. How these guys are moving around. Like you see these little micro sidesteps on top of everything, trying to make it so difficult to corral opponents. Dude, Akeopo is annihilating right now.
Yeah, nice little. His timing is just immaculate right now. Oh,
go back. That was like 5 hits in a row. So important to note, that string does allow you to GI if you delay it. Yeah, that was like G cancel, and this is a high, a counter hit high that will basically like guarantee him the round if he connects off of it. But boy, That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to see.
That they're playing so compact, so small. They're really looking for timing reason, and uh the way that Akeopo is using the life lead to like not engage, like there's like how many of you in chat would have like done this? I
One,
want you to be
two,
honest.
three. I think that was four. If you include the sidestep movement to bait out the GI post GI, that's at least like four different feints. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. How many in chat? How many of you in chat would have done that? Be honest. Be honest. None of you better say I would have.
I play
There's only, there's
I
only,
play an I-10 character. I'm not mashing.
yeah, there's only one person I know that would do that,
Yeah.
and it's none of you in chat right now.
Ugh. How
Like,
does
no.
Xianghua even do this? The fact that he has 2 bars doesn't even frankly matter.
Yeah,
15 seconds on the clock, yeah, and at that point, having the longest range 2A kind of makes it impossible to really kind of start anything. I think at the
How do you
beginning
win-
of the
yeah.
set, we saw Nekoyogi trying to throw out some jump Bs, but like in that scenario, boy, it's a tough read to make,
yeah.
and you need about
Now
7 of them.
Look at how they use their resources. Like, there's like, Nekogi is like up on life, and now the risks that he takes change. Right.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how the pace of the match is so dependent on who's winning in what particular resource. Right.
Really, the only
So-
quote-unquote mistake that I would say is just the fact that Nekoyogi is not getting the punishes on the -10 stuff. But it is possible that Shanghua's I-10, her AA, is just not far enough to get some of the stuff. Ooh, guess it's wrong.
Yeah.
Has to
I
be
mean,
worried.
you don't
Yeah.
really duck there, right? There's no way you duck at the edge, right?
Yeah, it's tough. Like,
Well,
if you're dead to
you-
either one, who cares? But it's so scary from Akeopo's point of view just because you could potentially get wrung out, and that's why I think he was playing so much more compact in that scenario.
Well, the mid rings you out, so you have to take
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
to take
yeah.
low. Okay, that was
Good punish.
interesting. As soon as Nekogi overextends, he kind of just starts losing.
Yeah. See, now suddenly we went to just like step duck while rising B. There were at least 3
Yeah,
or 4
yeah.
step ducks in there. If you guys are, again, I don't think I got to finish my point before. If you guys are new to just moving around with some level of purpose in Soul Calibur 6, step duck is by default kind of the way to go to try and get yourself out of dodge.
Yeah, it's a super good tool to really know.
So this movement in general for SE6, much more
Yeah.
powerful than it was for other. Man, Nekoyogi's getting some good
It's-
blocks, but he's not necessarily capitalizing as much as he could.
It's so hard. Well,
Yeah.
it's hard because he wants to be greedy for the ring out, right? And
Right.
so, but it's hard to catch a timing when you're just hitting buttons like 2A and 2K, right?
Yeah. Getting some good hits now. We're pretty
Ooh.
close. Here's the 2-2B. Ooh, what a step! Dude, these guys
I know.
movement, dude.
Get off me.
And they don't
Ooh,
necessarily
catches it done.
commit to it to the same level that US players do. Like, when I sidestep, I'm just stepping. Oh, that should be
Yeah.
good. Like, I'm just, like, hard stepping. Like, I've made my choice, right? I'm trying
Yeah.
to make the choice that he's going to do revert. And these guys, like, step and then stop.
Yep. It's so interesting to see. Okay, that move is broken. Hey, we need to fix that move.
Yeah. Utilizing the frame advantage. Gets a knockdown yet again.
Ooh,
Good
that
step
step-
duck
wake up
yet
step duck.
again, dude.
Wake up, step duck.
Yeah.
That's insane. I still mid. Oh, that 3K has actually been catching Zhanghua sidestepping multiple times now.
Yeah. What a duck! And that's the hardest punish possible. Is he dead? Close. Dead to the mix. Goes for an auto GI -10.
Technically, I think he could have killed with a
Oh.
better punish.
Yeah, maybe. Shanghua yet again with all the meter in the world. This is one of the other things that you'll note
use
from
it.
this region is that they really don't spend meter in the same way that we do. In the sense that they really kind of don't spend it at all.
Yeah, there's really been no soul charges, but I want to go back to this. Right? Was that a step duck? Oh, that was just a reaction.
Yeah.
Could Setsuka players, could he have done, instead of doing soul attack, could he have done to the high lethal hit, like was it 214,
Oh, like the 236K or whatever?
not 236K, but whatever the high lethal hit is, where she ducks the high and does a lethal hit kick? Could she have done that? Because you can do that out of wave dash. I don't know if she could have done that and then have done that.
Yeah,
You know, that soul attack. I don't know, but
It's possible
either way,
that Akeopo just wanted to spend meter,
Yeah.
and felt like that was the best way to go about it because potentially he didn't feel comfortable trying to come up with a combo in this scenario that was going to kill, which would mean that using the soul attack in this situation provides him the best Oki after the combo to really kind of solidify the round.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
No, that's fair. That's fair. This is an interesting combo afterwards too. I don't know if that's max damage. I don't think it's max damage, but
I believe it is max damage. It's just that oftentimes Setsuka have the ability to essentially like drop it for something that's better. So for instance, you could turn that final hit into a dead trap instead, and then that would potentially kill. But yeah, he decided to go with just like the regular max damage. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Dude, what is this kick? I don't even know the input for this kick, but it's just
It's
doing
3K.
so much.
It's 3K. It's
3K,
so good.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's the first guy we've seen that hits, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the first one that
Oh,
doesn't
good
get stepped
block.
up. Wow, block and punish. I love that, dude. Xianghua crouch grabs so fast. Maybe
10
the
frames.
highest punish that you could possibly eat from 1B.
Ooh, it doesn't commit. Even though it's interesting that he didn't commit after getting the hit, because the last time he got the hit, he was correct. So why not go again?
Yeah, so, Setsuka 66K provides you the ability to just go into a stance. But that being said, when you don't have the blue snowflake, you don't have a break attack within that stance, which would mean that technically all of the options could be RE, in which case you have to cancel and try to get away from it. So Akeopo pre-adapting to what could potentially be going through Nekoyogi's mind. This is a really good sign of him, one, being a good player, and two, the fact that they played against each other a bunch.
Yeah. Little step duck into barely getting the duck, barely getting the stand on that.
They basically use it like a Tekken wave dash, where it's like, this is just the way you have to move.
Ooh, wow, that 6B caught the movement? That's interesting.
Okay, here we go. Decides to go soul attack. Yeah, this gets you away from Crybaby. 1B. He's dead to a CE. He has to be worried. No, guard impact. Oh, boy. Was that like a hard punish to the AAGI? I think it was.
I don't even know. But that's one thing that's interesting to note. That, I'm going to pause real quick as he gets a nice... Oh, it doesn't even get punished. It's crazy. Going back real quick to this situation. And that's the one thing that I think is a weakness of players that aren't from the United States. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I expected a totally different situation here. So every American Setsuka player does Shoryuken here.
Yeah.
Right? Or the Shoryuken and the Mary Poppins stance into a guess, right?
Yeah, it is.
He doesn't do that. So I'm interested to see. I wonder if they know any like weird setups, right? Or certain Oki setups, right? I'm interested to see the level of exposure, because they've got exposure to neutral play. I wonder what kind of exposure they have to the level of American Oki that we have over here.
Yeah, by default, if I had to guess, it was very similar to that previous soul attack combo that we looked at, where it's like, oh, is this max damage? Did you just elect not to go for it? Where, yeah, potentially what we have in a situation here is that Akeopo is just going for the guaranteed damage over and over again, and is not going for a setup, despite the fact that if he's right on said setup, which he has a pretty big advantage to do, he would end up winning the game. Very conservative playstyle.
Yeah, they've been super conservative. Oh, that's ring out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, good awareness from...
and you know how it started? A step duck.
Yeah, true.
What a surprise.
Y'all been sipping water? Because y'all should have been using the bathroom by now. It's been like 60 step ducks.
Dude, sidestepping a 1B and whiff punishing with a crouch grab is crazy.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
So yeah, Setsuka has the blue snowflake now, which means that the low is a break attack, so you can't necessarily RE by default to get away from the Mary Poppins stance. Does he get a wall here? He does. That's a huge... Xianghua does not get a huge amount of damage in most situations. The wall is not one of them.
Ooh,
doesn't commit.
Yeah, no hit confirm. You get hit from that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, looking for something.
The G cancels.
Probably looking for a GI. They're either both looking for a CE.
Setsuka's dead to 2-2B. Setsuka's dead to 2-2B, so it's a matter of doing 2-2B or grab for Nekoyogi, I think.
But Nekoyogi not even...
Oh!
I mean, the soul charge finally he's beater.
Yeah, Nekoyogi looks like he's trying to win just without spending meter, and he's not getting the same amount of damage on whip punishes, and that's going to do it.
Yeah, the DPS race is definitely in Setsuka's favor if you're not using meter or taking risks. So...
And he's not getting... The problem is that Nekoyogi is not necessarily getting a lot off of his sidesteps. He was correct on like 2 or 3 sidesteps in that last round, and he got bupkis for it.
Yeah.
Like, even just something as simple as like sidestep 3B. If I had to guess, it's the connection, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay, now we're seeing the grasp of Nekoyogi. That's a little more American-like, a little more Zeph-like, actually.
And it makes sense because like virtually every 2-2B has been blocked. Like the generalized mix-up for Xianghua is either 2-2B or grab. Is the opponent just going to statue block? Time to grab. You pepper them with that enough to the point where they get annoyed, and then you start using the 2-2B, which is what you wanted in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. Nekoyogi being a little more aggressive, which it changes style, right? Like nice step duck, but the way that wow, what a
Oh my
raw dog! Second time
god.
we've seen this
I feel like
situation.
I've never seen that before. Dude, can he just react to Xianghua full crouch 3A? He is blocked and hard punished every
Isn't
single
he?
one.
Isn't he like 12?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, not like 12. He's like 20, like early
It's
20s.
basically the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
minus
taking the
12,
punish
yeah.
here. Ooh,
Nice.
step duck again.
Okay, so he's getting something now. I think he's getting
Yeah.
used to it. Nekoyogi's getting warmed up. Dude,
Ooh,
they're playing
really
so
looking for
tiny,
the two
and that
A's.
should do it. No, wait, he didn't spin bar. That is not it. Okay.
Ooh.
Akeopo
Yeah,
has
crouch
bar
grab
now,
in
so he's dead to,
Oh.
like, soul attack setups.
Oh, what a
Okay.
soul charge. Okay.
I like it. Oh, he almost had it! He just needed one little tiny sidestep.
I wonder if
Ah,
he did nothing. His choice of movement, his choice his choice of option to do something here was to move. Like this was such an awkward timing to move.
oh
That was so
God,
awkward.
dude.
That
And
was
if I had to
ugh.
guess, I think it's because Akeopo started with 4-4B plus K. That high we saw in the previous exchange, like he
Yeah,
already projected
yeah.
vertical to try and catch a backdash. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was saying before, Setsuka is not necessarily the most brilliant at catching sidesteps, at catching step duck. She's probably the best character on the roster at catching backdashes, and that's where he really gets like the big damage. That's where you get the really huge counter hits. So I guess Akeopo, I do appreciate spending meter. I've talked about it many times before that I think it's appropriate to spend meter almost frivolously against Xianghua, because Xianghua players in general, Nekoyogi's a special case because we haven't seen like any meter literally at all. But overall, Xianghua's soul charge, not one that we typically see, and you are putting in a lot of cost for the Xianghua to feel like they are forced to you feel like you are forced to give up the best CE in the game in order to soul charge, and
Yeah.
as somebody who plays against Xianghua, it can be a really nice feeling because Xianghua's soul charge still does stuff and still gives her access to a huge amount of damage, but it goes away very quickly, and it's just not necessarily what Xianghua players want to do. So it's always important
Yeah.
to spend meter more aggressively than you normally would against an X. Either to force them to spend soul charge, or hey, you get the situation that you wanted in the first place where you get to just be a soul charge character against a non-soul charge character, and isn't that fun?
Yeah, another way to think about it is how do you beat a character that's better than you at everything? Like Zhanghua's better, she's a better approacher. She sometimes are better. Creep out's better. She's got better meter usage, she's got a better CE. So how do you beat a character that's better than you? You have to out resource them, right? So like Jay was saying, you got like using your soul charge meter. Like that's using a resource that they don't want to use, right? And that gives you the advantage usually long enough for you to kind of even the playing field. But like especially in this matchup where a character is just outright better than most characters, or just like when she gets to bar, she like invalidates most characters. You gotta soul charge, like you gotta even the playing field somehow.
And especially with Setsuka soul charge, we are talking about one of the better soul charges. Not one of the soul charges that just commandeers the entire game, but if Setsuka can get the opponent to block something, the amount of frame advantage that she gets on virtually all of her stuff in soul charge means that she just gets to take turn after turn after turn, coupled with, you know, anti-mash tools in her stances that will do like a launcher amount of damage, mids that just like cycle into each other, unseeable lows that go into knockdowns that then go back into the soul charge stuff. Like, so a very steamrolly type of soul charge. You just need to get that initial hit, which we didn't get to see that time around.
Yeah.
Overall, Akeopo just got interested in going for a kill stroke, which can sometimes happen with soul charges.
Ooh, Moody we got their -8. Interesting.
Oh,
that was a delayed backstab.
We didn't get the full combo, and in fact, we got heavily punished, but I do appreciate the fact that as time goes on, Neko is getting warmed up and getting used to the connection. Oh,
I
tried to
agree.
step, not so much.
I think it's interesting that he is ducking at the wall too.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is
I mean, at this
asking to die.
point, he has such a low amount of life, and he gets such a heavy reward when he's right about ducking lows that, like, you might, like, both the low and the mid are scary, at least now. Oh my god, how do you do that? The play
Oh,
dead!
that's patient. Oh,
Nothing!
no,
Dude.
that's insane. Is he gonna? Is he gonna? Is he gonna what? Is he gonna win?
I don't want to say anything. It's so bad as a commentator because I
yo.
want to say stuff, but I also don't want to say stuff. They're
It's
just
not even
throwing safe
live.
stuff over and over again. He got the 6-6B, dude. Dude,
Oh
that
my
last,
God.
like, 15 seconds was like a Thermidor round. That is insane.
What?
Neko wasn't thinking in 5.2 billion years that he was going to be blocking an umbrella here.
That's insane. Yeah, that umbrella's like what, -20 at least.
At least. You can punish it with whatever. Shangwa has bar. Like, he can punish it with it. I think it was just the fact that, like, he whiffed a 2-2B, and so he just, like, went full defense mode.
Yeah. I
That's
think it's
so
interesting though. I think it's also interesting that Nekoyogi is not also not step ducking, but he's also twitch ducking. He's also fussy ducking.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Akeopo's doing that too. I think that's how he's getting those blocks on the full crouch 3As. He's figuring certain
Yeah.
timings for lows, which would lead me to believe that you should be going for full crouch 3B as Neko. I think that makes the most sense to try and, like, if I'm right, and the opponent is just ducking a timing on something like that, maybe reacting to the animation of Xianghua being in crouch, that would make the most sense to me.
Yeah, that or delaying the timing, because typically if you're ducking on timing, you're looking for something. If you don't find it, you kind of go back on the defensive, kind of like a whiff. So
Just
it
not
depends
tech
on how you
back,
want to look
okay.
at it. Yeah, that was actually interesting there.
Typically we see a tech back, it's a techable knockdown after the Mary Poppins stance, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, something like that. Okay, catches again.
Nekoyogi has been attacking at -8 and has been losing for like the past 7 interactions now.
And you lose so much damage when you get hit by Setsuka in those types of
Yeah.
situations. Fantastic duck. Or a fantastic step. Oh, tried. Not so much.
Nice
Does
delay
not
3B
kill
on the step
Will.
duck though.
Here we go.
What a punish!
Man, Neko clutching it out with some of these right now.
Well, that was good because I mean, like he's been using 2A to kind of keep out. Nice break. He's been using 2A to kind of keep out, especially in low health situations like that. So that's important to know. But that was very nice 6B.
Yeah, once we get to those,
what
like,
did I
dead
say?
to the last hit, Akeopo goes full 2A, 2B type scenarios, just, like, as non-committal as possible with, like, the longest range as possible. Now we're seeing 2As for a different reason. We're seeing Akeopo just trying to, like, interrupt Akeopo's pressure. In fact, he's getting
3A
much more 2A based.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
tried
doesn't
to
get
go
the wall
for a wall there, but doesn't work out.
Doesn't get it. Oh, doesn't take his punishes on a 3B. That one, I mean, I don't think he's punished for 3B for the most part. Good punish on a full couch 3K piece. That is -16. Most people don't know that.
Yeah, typically the amount of pushback that you're getting from that move kind of saves you, but we're at the wall, so you don't have to worry about that as much.
Yeah.
I assume Akeopo just wants to starve him out and, like, get the time. Oh, he was almost dead. Did he die? Did he die? He didn't do the right. Oh, could he have
He
not?
should just did 3B.
Yeah. He wanted to try and find a timing so that Akeopo couldn't get up and do something afterwards. You could have just done, like, B slide K or really, like, anything here, but it would have potentially given Akeopo an opportunity to get up and do something, some sort of
I don't
mix.
know, man.
No,
I
yeah,
disagree.
it's tough.
U3B and U3B. He actually Ukemi. Maybe he Ukemis and then soul charges, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's tough. He's attacked after -8 after that same move after 2-2A for the past 8 interactions. It's pissing me off.
Akeopo's probably just being like, dude, I really hope he doesn't correct this.
Yeah.
Okay, teeny tiny. Every once in a while, they jump into the air trying to get away from lows and grabs. It's often like a relatively good idea in Soul Calibur to jump in some of these awkward spots because you'll deal with lows, you'll deal with grabs, and if you get hit by a high or just like a mid, it's like an awkward, like, in the air type thing, so you don't necessarily get, like, the same amount of damage. So that's not going to kill due to the scaling, I don't believe.
But the mix-up here is
Yeah.
scary.
This is the whole shtick. Gets the K.
Oh.
K. Yeah.
I'm surprised it's still on the ground. The low doesn't. There's no low that kills you there that you can't react to.
Yeah.
So maybe full couch Shrue probably kills you, but if you stand up. So, but that's character specific, and I don't think that's an option they would Nekoyogi would do.
Continuing to feint off of these GIs.
Ooh, nice 2-1-4-1K. And soul charge. Okay, I like that. Using soul charging.
This
It's
is an
interesting when they
American
soul
soul
charge.
charge. This is an American soul charge.
I actually disagree. I think this is a very Asian soul charge.
Oh, okay.
And here's why. Because American soul charge. So here's my big brain
American
hypothesis.
soul charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So that to me was an Asian soul charge, right? Because if you look at the way that they're playing the game, the way that they're approaching the game, they're using. I've been playing way too much TFT, so forgive me. They're using a resource in a spot where they will guarantee get something back, right? I think the reason that Akeopo doesn't want to soul charge is because even if you soul charge, there's no guarantee you get some value out of it, right? And so being conservative and being as minimal as possible is all about minimizing the value that you give to your opponent and maximizing the value that you get from your actions, right? And so I think when like this is the first time we've seen an open soul charge when there's when there's no life deficit. Other than that, he's soul charged to kind of like reset neutral or is like, oh, I'm about to die, right? This is the first time where we've seen like an offensive soul charge. I think it's because the chances of getting value out of a soul charge at the wall is a lot higher than getting it like to be like, oh, get off me, or like get out of a bad situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and on top of that, the reason why I felt it was kind of like an American soul charge was because it like the idea of an aggressive soul charge at the wall kind of forces Xianghua into the position that I was talking about before, where like Xianghua only has one bar, right? And would be forced to pop it, forced to use it just to end this pressure. And if he doesn't, then Akeopo gets the situation that he's in right now, which is being a soul charge character where the opponent has very limited options. So it's kind of like, almost kind of like in poker where you're the big blind and you just try to push the opponent into more uncomfortable situations, knowing that you have resources in the can that you can go to that they can't necessarily do the same for.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting how like different thought processes have come to the same result.
Yeah. And it's also important that it's kind of rare just to see like a raw soul charge activation, because one thing that Setsuka has over Xianghua is that her soul attack is so good. Being able to get the lethal hit when you have all of your stacks correct really makes a big deal.
Oh, I wonder if Asia knows about the giraffe tech.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Giraffe Cankles is going to the tournament, right?
Yes.
We've been seeing him in a handful of Wednesday night fights, so I just kind of assumed. But I imagine playing in Wednesday night fights is an awfully restrictive, crippling experience for somebody who's so high execution.
No, he's over West Coast now, so it's actually pretty.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was in like
West
Tennessee or something.
Yeah, he was, and then.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Neko playing so small
so
right
quiet.
now. He's got a million years. He's got the bar, and he gets exactly what he was looking for.
Man, I bet every Xianghua player is smiling at like, oh, that was a sick duck. Man, this character can.
Yeah.
I hate this character.
Those people who like do like the most lowest common denominator type stuff, and they're like, dude, did you see the reads? And you're like, yeah, congratulations, dude.
Yeah, you did 3B.
One of these
CE.
days,
Congrats.
I want to just hit somebody with 3A 3 times in a round and be like, did you see the reads? Like, yeah, congrats, dude.
Oh, he should have been around during the early days when Maryland was playing Caliber. That's all we did was just the same stuff over and over.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Ooh, back turn Mary Poppins mix is kind of insane.
Ooh, catches the GI! That was the same string that we had seen Neko try to use a GI on a handful of times before, actually baits him into it, and Setsuka gets a huge amount of damage out of it.
Yeah. Still fighting, though, getting a gripper damage back.
Yeah.
Not too far, but a nice punish there on the string.
Doesn't have bar yet, so yeah, not necessarily another baited GI. Fantastic stuff. You can always kind of assume that you're going to see more aggressive type stuff against that stance until Setsuka gets the blue snowflake. So we see that she has it now, which means that one of her moves in that stance is a break attack. So a lot of those types of options are kind of gone now. I'm trying to remember what all happens. I'm trying. It's like normal hits, counter hits, and what in order to achieve her
Normal
stacks?
hits, counter hits, and punishes.
Okay.
I think. If I remember correctly, can a real Setsuka player please stand up? I mean, can a real Setsuka player confirm or deny
Yeah.
what the symbols are?
Going with a lot of 2-hit strings. Catches another duck.
6P. Ooh, 6A and an immediate box step. Ooh.
Somebody asked
Dude, Nekoyogi's a master.
What those 3 symbols mean. That's exactly what we were talking about. So, like, you eventually just achieve... It's essentially her ramp mechanic. You're trying to achieve a certain amount of punishes, counter hits, and normal hits in order to get all 3 of your symbols. When you achieve one of them, you get a particular boost. So, the Yellow Moon allows for a certain I-12 long-range punish to become even longer range. The Blue Snowflake does what I was talking about before with regards to getting a break attack within the Mary Poppins stance. The Red Flower, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what it gives you when you have just that.
I think the Red Flower gives you... I don't know.
I can't remember. Apologies. And it's also important to note, once you have all 3, then Setsuka's soul attack becomes a lethal hit, and you get a huge combo out of it into Oki, not to mention you're a character in soul charge. So it's kind of what every Setsuka player is looking for at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Handful of characters with ramp mechanics. Shanghua doesn't really have to worry about that.
I think the pink one gives Umbrella different properties, like 2B side A or 2.
Yeah, it looks like that's the case. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then did you mention if you get all 3, you get the lethal hit?
Yeah.
Soul attack. Okay, 6.
Yeah, that's always the main thing to look for when you're dealing with Setsuka. It's not really something that you can keep her from getting. It's just gonna happen naturally as the game goes on. Just achieved it right there. So now you're gonna have to worry about the soul attack from Akeopo.
Yes. 3A. Oh, he's fuzzing. He's trying to find something.
Yeah. Endlessly fishing.
Yeah.
Neko's starting to bring this back. Up 2.
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah.
Eventually, this... Oh, you got... Oh, never mind. There's a 6K. I was going to say, there's got to be a 6K coming soon. Again, no Mary Poppins stance after that.
Ooh,
nice
yeah,
clash.
it's tough to challenge there. And it's totally safe, so you just eat a bunch of... That's the only way out of that type of situation. And if you decide not to challenge... Oh, okay.
Was that obvious? That was obvious as shit.
Yeah.
I think that was obvious.
Surprising. Very surprising.
Yeah. Is he dead?
No,
what's the next 6B?
3A? Yeah.
Oh, 3. Oh! You were right.
What a block and punish.
You were right.
Just because you block the 3A doesn't necessarily mean you're guaranteed a punish. It was also right about what the follow-up was going to be as well. A double guess right on Akeopo's part.
Yeah. I'm so blessed that I can just back roll that whole situation as Wong. It's so amazing. Now they're just chilling playing neutral.
Yeah, Shanghua without bar, Setsuka without stacks, but Setsuka now has the wall.
Yeah. That was a hard step duck by Nekoyogi. Really kind of pressing now that was back against the wall. Now that he's got space to breathe, no more pressing. And then Sunfish really just kind of like pressing the advantage just because doesn't have the life lead. It's very resource based. Like you can tell who's going in, you can tell who's gonna run away based off who has a life lead. It's actually just there's a systems mentality to it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, very consistent. Oh, tried to GI the second hit maybe? I'm not sure.
Maybe. Doesn't go for the umbrella. Oh, nice counter hit.
Oh boy, you're not dead yet, but
the reset.
It's gonna be close. We are back to like one of these rounds. A jump B. Shanghua jump B, guys.
It's so good. Shanghua jump B. Sophie jump B.
It's like 40 damage.
Not Sophie jump B.
No, Cassandra
Yoshi
jump B.
Sophie, Cassandra jump B. They're so broken.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Cass and X are like the 2 that I think of.
Yeah. Whoa, good punish.
Oh, man. Such tiny punish. Oh no, now suddenly 3B is no longer safe.
Yeah.
Never
mind.
Alright, I guess I spoke too soon.
It went down a bar. Ooh.
Trying to follow up, trying to step duck there, but Setsuka throwing out some of those force blocks. And then, what? Oh, I thought that was a reverse ring up, but I guess it was just normal hit, not counter hit.
It was a grab. The grab animation was done, or was a
Ah,
recovery.
okay,
So
okay.
it's just so small, and yeah,
Such
Nekoyogi's
teeny tiny gameplay. It's crazy.
18 seconds, and then there's the 2-2-B. Not even on a mix. The 2-2-B wasn't even on a mix timing. It was on a timing, but it wasn't on like I've been throwing you for 2 rounds
No,
now.
yeah.
It's just like I think you're gonna move.
It's just
2-2-B.
in general 2-2-B being a good move. Very similar to what I was talking about with regards to Setsuka wants to catch backsteps. Shanghua wants to catch sidesteps.
Yeah. Ooh, 6A, 6A.
The 2-2-B covering such a wide range of that kind of gameplay.
Yeah. Interesting. He's committed to these ducks. Maybe try to mix up step ducking with just regular ducking because for situations like that, right?
Yeah, because the step ducking he wasn't necessarily getting a whole lot out of, either just due to the connection or what have you. So it feels like he wants to like commit a little bit more to keep up in damage.
Yeah. Just doing nothing doesn't have to do anything. Lively's so big.
Yeah, it's basically a game of chicken where like Akeopo doesn't want to get burned on his soul charge similarly to how he got burned last time. And so he's just trying to bait out Nekoyogi doing those steps, but he's only getting like a 2A here. Dude,
it's so crazy.
What starvation gameplay, dude.
It's so crazy, and it's so interesting because I guarantee you, actually, chat. Can I ask y'all a question? Chat, can I ask y'all a question? If you see Nekoyogi doing all this blocking and movement, what was your first thought? Jay, what is your first thought? If
my first thought is being mad as hell that he's able to get out of here. But I also play a big-time mix-up character, so honestly, I'd probably just be resorting to what exactly Nekoyogi wants me to, which is grabs and lows to get him to stop doing this.
Yeah, but there's been no grab. That's the thing. There's been no grab.
Because he's terrified. He's so terrified to actually do it because Nekoyogi has been leaning so heavily to step ducking. It seems like he's found just this right rhythm to forgo this option, but leaving the threat of it there, that Akeopo is still terrified. It's crazy.
Just unwilling to take the risky option to get back into the game.
Yeah.
Because every option that was taken was super safe. And like Nekoyogi really had to mess up. Which is insane.
And it really kind of blows my mind, like, how good both players have exemplified something that takes a very, very long time to figure out. And really only works on good players, which is demonstrating an option, and then even though it's worked every time, realizing when the opponent is thinking about that option, and so without allowing the opponent to get any reward on adapting to what you're doing, pre-adapting to your opponent, and going with the counterplay to the counterplay. It really doesn't happen very often, but Nekoyogi was getting so much hay out of step ducking so much in the beginning sets, and it became blindly apparent to Nekoyogi when Akeopo was in Soul Charge that he was attempting to look for the step duck, or like he was worried about the step duck, and so suddenly you don't have to do it anymore. Now you can keep yourself safe from other stuff as well. The threat of something can sometimes be enough, and that's kind of one of the main reasons why we see so many people get frustrated with Shanghua in those types of situations. Why Setsuka being in Soul Charge there, frankly, didn't really matter all that much, because the same types of lows that you want to use while you're in Soul Charge are still just as punishable, so it's one of the places that you want to avoid, where you're a Soul Charge character against X when you're dead to CE, because at that point, it feels like you're just spending bar for the hell of it. You're not actually getting any kind of momentum.
He blew through 2 Soul Charges.
Yeah.
That feels bad.
Ironclad defense from Nekoyogi.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
You want to talk about something we literally never see in US Caliber.
Yeah, and to do that online too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too.
Okay, the BB kind of cracks the step. I don't know how much longer they play for either. I don't know.
Who could say? Quite some time.
Oh, that's like...
Ooh, a low berry.
Nice.
Why does that still do so much damage? Even at the end of the combo?
It's Zhonghua. He needs it. That one too, because it's close to the edge.
Wow, the BB timing BB making its appearance.
Yeah, the timing is crazy. Just really just looking for a timing. Nice step duck again. Ooh.
Yeah, at first Akeopo was the person who was really in charge of this set. Neko a little bit more so now, but kind of just going even right now.
I think Akeopo's up, might be up one, but I don't even know. It's been so back and forth. It's been so close. It's been nice to see.
Akeopo's way of adapting to this situation is to play even smaller. Now just doing first hits of strings rather than the full thing.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy.
You see him immediately doing a 3-3B on these wake-ups to try and keep Neko from going with a step duck. Step duck is going to lose to force blocks in that situation.
Yeah. Yo, they're doing so much of nothing! He finally gets a grab!
That's kind of scary, really so that's important for Neko to realize. Is he going to go to step duck now? To try and use the CE to punish it?
Oh!
Whoa! No! The two-way! Another two-way. Gee whiz.
Two-way.
Robbery averted.
It's so good. Ooh, nice turn this again. Take a sip of water for every two-way that hits.
Break attack we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Neko
also, 2 bars.
Neko has not had a lot of good success dealing with Setsuka's stance pressure.
Yeah,
he's kind of gotten beaten up for a lot of the big bets. He's not trying to block it literally at all, and he's getting punished for like every single option he chooses.
Cool. Yeah. Nice step. His string defense is insane. Immaculate, actually. Yeah. Ooh, AB catching him being a little greedy. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that was okay. Wait. That was actually really good. I don't know if you noticed that, but he stepped and then stepped the opposite way and then did 9K.
Oh, I didn't catch the step in the middle there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That was actually crazy.
Covering for even more options.
Yeah.
On top of that, we haven't really seen Neko punish the jump K like literally at all, so it's kind of like a free knockdown too.
That's true.
A knockdown attempt at least.
Yeah, it is -10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trying to bait out with the 6K Mary Poppins stance yet again. Again,
Akeopo's
getting a lot of good stuff out of that.
Yeah. 6A, plus 8.
There it is.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh, fancy. He did only the first part of the string expressly for this purpose. He was even doing that in the beginning of the set. That's crazy.
Yeah. That move is so good on recovery. It's really good. 3K. Add it to your repertoire when you play Setsuka. It's so good.
Or just in general, another good thing to deal with when you're dealing with reaction junkies is like using moves specifically for the purpose of like trying to bait out a punish. That's why you're seeing so many G cancels from Akeopo as well. Just like really trying to like. You want to talk about like resource management and stuff. We've talked about meter, and the obvious ones are things like life and spacing and damage, right? But one of the other ones that we doesn't necessarily get talked about enough is attention.
Yes.
The Namco games have so much. You wouldn't necessarily see it from this match, but there's so much stuff that every character can do. There's so many moves, so many strings. You can only keep things together for so many things all at the same time. I don't think it's actually reasonable for somebody to be 100% perfect against a character in a set. Both of these players being at the top level, and they're not doing it. They're even messing some stuff up. So finding gaps in your opponent's ability to cover, even if it's just for that set or just for that moment, is really important in games like this that put so much on your mental stack.
Yeah. Oh, best of the combo, yeah.
Oh boy, that's going to be a lot.
Oh, that's an interesting. That's a combo.
Yeah.
Nice conversion. That combo
for the second one.
Yeah, that combo looked ugly, so it's a good version. Ooh, back grab.
That's a back grab.
2-2B.
It's either 2-2B or grab every time.
Oh, and wait, Neko. Wait. That was interesting. That was actually really great.
Yeah,
that was interesting. Nekoyogi being the one to run away.
This is threat avoidance from both players to a crazy degree.
Yeah. So here's the back grab, right? And here's the mix up. Guesses wrong, takes the block, and then just runs away.
Yeah, because all he's looking for is for Akeopo to screw up. He's looking for the ability to punish anything, and that's why you saw Akeopo, if you go back again, that's why you see Akeopo go for, like, mono 3As, because it's, like, the way that you can continue to increase the pressure and force Nekoyogi to do something like this without being dead to CE. The only way that you're going to get CE'd if you do 3As if X backdashes which is not really something that she wants to do in the first place, and ends up getting like the whiff punish here. So it's a lot of I know that you know that I know that you know going on at the very end here.
Yeah, this is a very nice. Nekoyogi was trying to keep out 2-2B. This is very nice. Keep out 2-2B, and then Akeopo was just like, "Nah, I'm good." So very good stuff. Very good stuff. Very
But
good stuff.
still maintain that level of being in the pocket so that he could punish if Neko gets a little bit too much. Because sometimes you're just like, okay, fine, back to neutral, and we'll start all over again, stuff like that. But
yeah, very immaculate spacing there.
Teeny tiny.
Dude, it's crazy. Like these 204 Ks are hitting. Like, it's very interesting, and we're talking about you can. Wow. Okay, what a reset. We talk about being scared of like ducking. It seems like he's not really scared of Nekoyogi ducking at all. Just doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is the first time we've seen 1A. No, this is the second time we've seen it, and Neko punished it the first time.
Yeah.
Neko punished 1A. Like, he didn't even wait for the rest of the string.
Stood up 3B, which is a good punish. Ooh, nice step.
I assume the full crouch 2B was supposed to be a 2-2B, but it's tough to... when the camera shifts like that.
Yeah. Good old caliber camera. Again, he's 2-4-1-As. Ooh, yep, get off me. Ooh, nice. That was a good delay on the BTT.
See, those kinds of counter hit combos are really how Akeopo is kind of like trying to decide a gap. In these matches, Shanghua really can't pull off the same kind of thing. So many oh my god, dude, he gets this every time. Just not enough.
There's no way that's optimal.
The first Nekoyogi soul charge. Let's see what it does. It doesn't do anything.
Nothing. There's no way that's optimal, that combo.
Yeah, you don't think so?
There's no way.
I don't know for sure, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, interrupts this time. Every other time, Neko has tried to like move away from it, and he's gotten beaten up for it, but actually just interrupts with a button this time around. Again, he's not doing very well dealing with the Mary Poppins stance.
Not at all. But the wake up step duck cures all. It's great.
Ooh, challenging the step from afar this time around.
This time 6 is being at the wall because he's been ducking at the wall. I respect that. Get off me. Nice 3KB there. Nice. Ooh, gets the wall spot there. Nice side step. Well, size of 2-4K is actually very interesting. Is there a downside to charging up your weapon? Are you talking about soul charge?
It sounds like somebody in chat is talking about soul charge, and really the main thing is the fact that it spends a bar of meter. So you can only do that so many times.
Yeah. The downside for Killick is special because he stays in soul charge. That's why he starts losing health. But for other characters, it goes away.
It will go away progressively with time, but then there's also a variety of soul charge moves, which are typically extensions of already existing moves, but now just like give you better frame advantage or give you additional strings or something like that. And in using them, will make your soul charge go down even farther. This is one of the main reasons why Shanghua's soul charge is not considered to be all that strong, is because when she uses soul charge strings and extensions, boy, her soul charge goes down very, very far. It's not universal. There are some characters, Gro, Astaroth, that have fantastic soul charges on top of the fact that even just using soul charge strings really doesn't make them go away like at all. Akeopo really just like lost that opportunity to win that round, but okay.
Punishes the low grab attack. That's interesting. That's crazy. That's actually wild. Nice block. Finally gets us right on the Mary Poppins stance, which is first time. This guy's been getting broken, which is very interesting. The way that they're moving, the 6B has just not been a very good option for Nekoyogi to do. Nice step duck into full caution be there. Have y'all been drinking y'all water for every step duck? I hope so.
I hope not.
Yo, no. You're supposed to hope so. It's water. It's freaking water poison.
Enough of anything can kill you.
That's true.
Ooh, step duck into taunt.
Yeah, we like that.
Wow, the first time Neko has decided to block there.
Yeah. It's specific to your situation. It depends on where you get more value. Some characters get more value out of their soul charge. Some characters get more value out of their CE.
Some characters get something better in the CE. Yeah, it all depends on the context.
like Zhanghua gets better CE. Sometimes characters have good of both. Like Mitsurugi has a good soul charge and CE, so it really depends on the situation.
Not to
And
mention,
it
you can
depends on who
also
you're fighting.
activate Soul Charge in multiple ways. So there's other characters
Yeah,
that want to use their Soul Charge as, like, the initial burst to try and get the opponent away because they have defensive Soul Charge. And there are other ones that use the Soul Attack, like we're seeing from Setsuka here, where they want to use it in an aggressive way. But it's obviously harder to pull off. So you're going to be, sitting on your meter for a longer amount of time trying to wait for that perfect moment. But depending on how you want to play it, that's like the perfect amount of payoff.
yeah. Ooh, nice XSB, and they're gonna CE. I don't think this is dead.
I think it's very, very close. And the amount of life that he has, he might as well just, like, use it right here. Because he also has a bar on top of this, too. So he needs, like, 1-2A. Oh!
Ooh. That's a
Slice
oh,
suspend the bar.
you can't go low. Ooh, gets the grab. Killing Zhanghua is the hardest thing. Oh,
Nice. God, he is so good at blocking full crouch 3A. It's crazy.
if I needed Akeopo to save the world from the aliens who were like, yo, you need one person to block full crouch 3A from full crouch 3A plus B from Zhanghua 10 out of 10 times, who would you pick? I'm picking Akeopo.
Yeah.
We're living.
See, and now, like, right at the beginning there, we see Akeopo trying to do the exact... I bet he's just as surprised, and now he's shoving full crouch 3B. You see it at the very beginning, where he just tried to do the same timing, and still it got blocked? That's crazy.
Nice 3B there. Well, finishes the string this time. Trying to get ring positioning.
One thing that I think is really helping out Akeopo so far in the set, especially in these last handful of games, has been stage positioning. He's really constricted Neko's defensive movement over to the wall to the point where he's eating like more 2As and more 2Bs than you normally would. We're back to mashing in that situation and getting clipped.
Yeah. That felt like a delayed Mary Poppins stance, actually. +2. This time takes advantage and gets the trade.
Oh, there we go. There are some of those full crouch 3Bs.
Dude, he's so far down in life, it's crazy. And he's about to be matched in meter. He's surpassed in meter, down in life, down in meter. That's so bad. Ooh, and then at this point you could take your chance at getting hit with a low. Interesting. I guess the question is how can you build meter faster than Zhanghua? Because Zhanghua builds meter by hitting the lethal hit,
especially tough with Setsuka. Setsuka is a very thirsty character with regards to meter.
Yeah,
and isn't really all that great at building it. Gets a step duck.
Yeah, but Zhanghua builds it. If she gets a defensive read, she builds it super fast. So maybe this conservative playstyle is what's necessary. BB, nice.
Yeah, trying to deal with the 2As with BB. Slower, but more damage.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna get interrupted, and that's the way it's gonna go.
And that one feels like that one's gonna kill.
Justin.
Yeah. Just barely enough.
Extending this lead now. And it's in such subtle ways, right? Like, it's so difficult to try and find, like, what he can do, what Neko can do. He's just not getting as much damage as Akeopo is on these exchanges. This is one of the weaknesses of X, is that, like, for the most part, in these type of neutral situations, if you can keep up in the amount of 1 interactions, you're gonna just beat X in terms of the damage.
Yeah.
Just doesn't hit that hard. And also, he's also getting taunts, and that sucks.
Yeah. I don't know how much more you want to watch this. I know there's like an hour of it left.
Yeah, we can do this last one.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch these forever, but I don't want to hold you.
People gotta get to sleep. People gotta get dinner.
I mean, it's boring caliber. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's actually been very entertaining to watch. It's actually been a lot less boring than I guess we kind of let on. It's been very smart caliber from both sides, actually.
I'm going to put a link into the description for Akeopo's stream. Nekoyogi does not stream, I don't believe. But Akeopo streams on a pretty regular basis, and you will see him play a plethora of characters. Setsuka appears to be his main at this point. Like I said at the beginning, he used to be a Tira main. He might still consider himself to be a Tira main, but he plays a whole host of characters against like the 3 or 4 people that he runs into in ranked. You'll see a Siegfried, you'll see an Ivy, others.
Yeah, you'll see every character, literally every character. Yeah, that's how he learns the game. And he actually comes around. He actually speaks pretty decent English. So if you see him on stream, like in Twitch,
I didn't know that. Oh, I'll actually say something.
he used to come up. He used to come to my stream all the time and type "sixes kill kill." That's where "sixes kill kill" came from. That's where the Nightmare thing came from.
That's
It was
cool.
from him. Yeah. Nice combo. He's kind of snowballing here now. 2A, 2A.
Oh, it's just so much at this point. I think this is just going to be a two-way show.
Yeah, 2A,
2A, 3A.
2A. Okay,
Yeah,
3K. Nice. 3K, be nice. Nice.
Too much small caliber, but boy, it really is such a drastic difference. I mean, these guys don't only so rarely go for like follow-ups on their attacks, they so rarely go for moves that even provide them knockdowns. Like, it's so US caliber looks like such big caliber in comparison to this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it really is just that drastic difference, and I really don't know. It's not necessarily to say that one is better than the other, but I'm interested to know how they typically clash against one another. Woes was ended up winning Waffle, which was the last time we had intense international competition across the world.
That's a different type of play style, though.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing Wolves versus Nekoyogi because that's a different play style, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you also gotta understand different American play styles beat different Japanese player or not just Japanese players, but also Asian players, right? Because
Yeah, I want to see something like
Mage,
Nekoyogi versus Icy Chains.
that's that too.
You know,
but like
we're not going to see
Nova
that,
Mage,
but I want to see something equivalent to it. Yeah.
I think Nova Mage beats one. I think Nova Mage beats some, or was it Giraffe that beat Kamizono?
Giraffe.
Someone beat Giraffe beat Kamizono. Nova Mage beat
that I can't remember.
He beat the Mitsu player.
K-Chan.
He beat K-Chan. He beat K-Chan.
K-Chan also somebody
if I
who I
remember
believe
correctly.
is coming back.
Yeah. He beat K-Chan, which is insane. So the styles of American play, it really depends because they also the advantage that America has is Asia does not know every single character.
And when they don't know, they don't know.
So the only reason they knew Huang was because Kamizono picked up Huang and like played K-Chan, like specifically Huang versus Mitsu for like a week straight. That's all K-Chan did. Was just play that. Even then, it was last round, last hit, last game. So if you and they were most scared of Toothpaste because nobody plays Haomaru, right? So the character choices plus player advantage, like 2B, like Nova Mage is a perfect person. Like if you were to ask me, if you were to say send me two players to send overseas to beat everybody, it's Nova Mage for one, and the second one, it's probably Icy Chains.
Yeah, Icy Chains is still pretty undefeated with regards to international competition.
Yeah, he. That's Mr. America for
and the last EVO Japan winner was a Grow player, so clearly they still have a tough time against that character.
Yeah. They also don't value characters like Yoshimitsu and Amy, which is very interesting.
Yeah, they think Amy's one of the worst characters in the game, and Astaroth is the best character in the game.
Yeah, so
which is really kind of insane.
I want to ask, maybe we can do some content down, or I can do some content because I know you won't be going. I'll do some content like give me your tier list.
Yeah, actually have just like a straight up discussion with them and why they think this character over the other character. I have an idea as to why they think Amy is bad. I don't agree with it, and I have an idea as to why they think Astaroth is really good. But and it really comes down to kind of this slow, small caliber style, right? Like, we were seeing this set where Nekoyogi was losing out in the exchanges with Akeopo. They were winning the same amount of interactions, but Setsuka was getting more damage, right? So if you take the same kind of logic, No-Rose Amy does even less damage than Xianghua, and it takes a while for her to build up that ramp mechanic. And so, if that's the logic that they're using, the idea is that you'll just beat out Amy in the damage before she really gets going. Now, that being said, I don't think that red is really that hard to use, and I've also seen Japanese Amy players, they all go purple, and they don't actually know how to play it, with all due respect. And so, yeah, obviously, if every Amy player is going to go purple every single game, it's going to take forever for them to get their ramp mechanic going. Like, it'll literally take to the very last round. And if you're constantly playing catch-up to that degree, then that's really rough. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's certain like they suck at Amy. Asia sucks at Yoshimitsu. Well, that's not true. That's not true. They are the second best region. They're second best Yoshimitsu players. The worst is EU. Um,
Oof,
just
the
but
call out.
no, I'm kidding. But yeah, they just don't have any Hamaru players, no Huang players. Uh, there's certain characters that you just don't have over in Asia. Really don't play very
And the
much.
question is,
So
what kinds of characters are they going to throw at us? Because K-Chan is somebody that I'm thinking of because, boy, the U.S. does not have Mitsu, like, at all.
yeah, I
But
mean
that
you
being
got
said, he lost the last
Razzle.
time he showed up, so who knows?
That's true. You got Razzle Frazzle, good Mitsu player, probably the best Mitsu player that still plays right now. Um, Noah has a Mitsu as well. Fun fact.
It's
So
been
if
a
you need
while
Mitsu
since we've seen
practice,
that, yeah.
yeah. But I actually don't think. I think. Oh, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, um, the biggest thing that after playing them, the biggest thing is they're not that the you think there's a gap, but there's not a gap. It's really a clash in play styles.
True, yeah,
And
that's true.
overcoming the play styles. I went even with Kamizono. I went even with K-Chan. I went even with Utoto. Nekoyogi fucked me up. I'm not gonna hold you. You fucked me
Mm-hmm.
up. But that's also a bad character matchup too. So it's more so the style that they play. If you get used to the style and understand what they're doing, you have a good shot. So um,
Yeah, we'll probably try to do maybe at least one more of
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
before the tournament comes around. Thanks to everybody who was watching in my stream, in Boom Stream, and everybody
Yep.
who's going to be watching it on YouTube as it comes back out. Join us next time, everybody, when the opponent we'll be looking at will be a different person.
Yes.